live now?
We are
We
live.
are live. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh, that looks crooked to me.
Okay. Too much.
It was. It was fine the way.
Right there. Right
Yeah,
there.
just, yeah.
All right.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, people. Hello, America.
Hello, hello.
Come on in
Happy
and have a
Tuesday.
seat. Let's pull this. Come on in and have a seat. Welcome to Conversations Overheard. We are 7 minutes late, so we're going to jump right into it. First of all, we know that we are your favorite webcast for people over 50.
That's right.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You all always have great things to say, and we try to give you really good content and really good takeaways for each of our conversations. And tonight we're talking about the silent treatment.
Is it fighting fair?
Is it fighting fair?
I think it could be. It could be a fair fight, and it obviously could not be. I feel like a little bit on the side of if you are trying to control your emotions and not have some random outburst, it might be something that is a good idea for you to recollect, and have some introspective reflection before you have a conversation that could very well have resolved and then it not because you don't have control
But
over
is
your emotions.
that the silent treatment though? The silent treatment is I mean
It's
that
not
sounds
talking.
to me like you're just pausing to reflect and let's table this discussion.
Well,
which is
that's the
totally
conversation.
different.
You have to communicate if you're tabling a conversation.
Right.
If
but
you
so-
don't communicate that you're tabling a conversation, I think that's the right way to handle
But
it.
what
But
you
if you
just
don't,
said sounds like
Let me
Can,
tell you,
can I paraphrase what you said very quickly?
if you
I
don't,
think that she's pausing the emotional part or the potential emotional response as opposed to, she's doing it so that she doesn't blow up at someone.
I
absolutely.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you don't, it would be a wonderful thing if everybody said, you know what, I'm going to take a day and, just give me time to process this. But a lot of times people don't do that. They're like, in their mind, before I curse your ass out, I'm going to shut the F up and I'm going to go. But they don't communicate what they're doing. They're just trying to remove themselves from a situation.
So the
And-
other person looks at it as the silent.
But they don't know what, right, they don't know. They know you walked up out of here and, they may feel like they're being ghosted, right? So in that respect, maybe it's a good thing because, there could be some resolve at the end. But I also feel like people weaponize.
Absolutely. It's a manipulation tactic.
It's a control tactic,
Yes.
absolutely. And it's to make you feel like you've done something wrong to them
Right.
when they were the one who injured you.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, I'm just not going to talk to you. And now you're like, what did I do?
What
just happened
what
here?
happened?
Right.
Like yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, it's my thoughts.
I think it can be fighting fair, and I have kind of split mixed views on it because it's something that I've used a lot of times for things that you spoke about. I don't argue,
Mm-hmm.
so when someone is arguing, I'll just shut down. I'm just like finish, do whatever you're doing. I'm not gonna go back and forth with somebody. In a prolonged sense, sometimes the silent treatment is because all in terms of a fair fight, all of my weapons are not available to me. I can't choke some woman out, so I need to just what,
Need to step back.
right, and especially when there's communal living. When we live together, sometimes people have done things, and I'm sure I've probably done something to somebody that was like,
You?
yeah, I'm sure, I'm positive.
Say what?
It's definitely gonna be a negotiation when I get to heaven. Trust and believe. But
When you
when
get to heaven. Oh, presumptuous, but go ahead.
I'm hoping, you gotta speak it into existence.
It's true.
I've been going to church.
Oh,
I've been good mostly,
Blame it.
but within that, it's in a communal living situation. Sometimes you have to go silent on somebody to let them know that man, I am so mad at you. And right now, I don't need to talk to you like that, but we still have to live together.
Where did you learn that behavior? Did your parents do it? Did your siblings do it? Did you guys do that in the house?
They didn't do that. My parents didn't do the silent treatment in that way. Like my mother would get mad at my father and she would stop cooking.
Mm.
My father would get mad at my mother and stop buying groceries.
Y'all were poor kids. They didn't eat at all.
No. I mean, my mother wasn't just gonna sit back and take that. We still ate. It was McDonald's, so we was hoping they had fights because we love McDonald's. So it wasn't. We weren't affected adversely in that situation. I mean, now if we didn't have soap, that's bad. But if we was out of hot dogs, we good. We figure it out. We'd be all right.
Okay.
But I'm not an arguer. I can't do that. And sometimes people, that's their thing. They wanna argue. They wanna go back and forth. They feel, provocated or whatever it is in doing that. And sometimes I just have to go silent because I can't do the back and forth.
It's taxing.
Yeah.
Do they want to argue or do they want to discuss?
Well, I
And then
mean,
you just get tired of, because you feel like, because sometimes when people are discussing, no one is really feeling heard because everybody's trying to get a point out. And then you feel like we're just going round and round and then.
But a little bit of information about me. I am deaf in one ear. So when somebody raises their voice, I hear it 10 times louder than they're projecting it to be. So when a person
In the
raises,
good ear?
yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I hear really good in that ear.
Okay.
And so when someone raises their voice, that is, that's you should hit me. You should probably punch me.
Okay.
I'll
Because
take.
it feels intrusive and like combative.
Yeah.
Feels like a bomb is in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's for somebody, I can't argue. I'm not gonna argue, and you're not gonna raise your voice because I'm not gonna raise my voice at you.
Right. Okay.
And at the point in which I raise my voice, that's like the precursor to me putting my hands on you, and that's not really an option to me.
Right.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
not.
well,
and
it
the
shouldn't
thing
be.
with the show, that's not
Right.
fair.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
So, in the sense that I have to use it as a tool that's available to me, I think it's fair.
Well, if it's definitely going to keep you from, being arrested,
Or you bonded me out, or you bonded me out.
I think it's a healthy tool for you. But in relationships in general, I used to think that ghosting just happened to women. But the older I get, I do realize that ghosting happens to men too, for different reasons. And the silent treatment could be something that a woman, let's just say, if a woman is dating a guy, or if she's not dating a guy, maybe she's just getting to know a guy. But there's so many red flags in the beginning of this that she's like, I gotta cut this off because an inch, if I give you an inch, you're gonna take a mile.
Mm-hmm.
And if I give you any kind of attention, it's going to be nonstop texting and calling, and so she just shuts it down. And men may do the same thing because you may have like a woman who's very, crazy, stalkerish, I don't know, whatever it is.
I
But
don't
they feel
that
like
word.
this is a self-protecting measure where I have to protect myself, maybe physically, maybe you may have to protect your people, your family from people. And so the silent treatment may be
Or
something
protect
that
your
you have to
peace.
do.
So the silent treatment, to me, is different from ghosting. Ghosting is just, I'm disappearing because I don't want you in my life. The silent treatment is a means, like you said, of control, manipulation. It could be, I'm not going to turn your text messages. I'm not going to answer your phone calls. That is the silent treatment. It's, you want that person, but it's a means
It
of
has
trying
it has an expiration date.
It should.
Yeah.
Ghosting
But ghosting
is
is
like,
different.
it has no expiration date.
Yeah.
Ghosting is
If I
It's a
come back in
period.
the next life,
I
I'm
do
still
not want you in
fooling
my life,
with you.
period.
Yeah.
Silent treatment is, the ellipsis.
I'm trying to get you to conform to what I
Yes.
want. I want you to
Yes,
behave
it's totally
the
so what
way
you
I
described,
want. Yeah.
that person person didn't silent treatment, they ghosted, and it was for a reason, but it was ghosting.
Yeah.
The silent treatment, I've had somebody do the silent treatment on me, and it was my first time experience. It's just like, wait, what's going on here? What is this?
Can you hear the words?
I was like, I was not familiar with
Are
this.
you not?
Yeah, so
Are you
I
not
was
gonna
like,
answer?
now I am, because I have, when you
Understand
start
it,
looking
yeah.
things, because phones track your Google
Movement.
searches.
Yeah.
So, and I was asking friends, and they were listening. My phone was listening, so now the stuff like this pops up on my timeline, and so now I'm more familiar with the silent treatment. I don't think I've had it since I've talked to this particular person, but I just find it to be very interesting that a person who is my age uses the silent treatment as a form of communication, because it is a form of communication. So, non-verbal cues and non-verbal things that go on in your life is communicated. And so, it is very interesting how people choose to communicate. And I think it is a learned behavior. That's why I asked you, did your parents do it?
No, they, as far as I knew,
Okay.
they didn't. When they had arguments or whatever, a lot of that type of behavior we were shielded from. They didn't do that in front of us.
Okay.
And but the silent treatment is different, and it's more pronounced when you're cohabitating.
I can
Because
see that.
if I could hide behind
Yeah.
my phone was broke. I
Yeah.
couldn't get to it. I meant to call
But
you
you
back.
walking past somebody in the
Right.
hallway and not talking to them, that's
Or in my case, I'm making dinner, and now I'm petty, so I'm gonna make what you love, and I'm gonna make enough for me, and I'm gonna make enough for you, and I'm gonna put it right there in front of you and be like, and I'm going where I'm going. I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'm gonna be effective at it. You just prayed for me, didn't you?
I think this is dangerous. I mean, I'm guilty. I've done the silent treatment before.
Mhm.
But I feel like it's still dangerous because it's a learned behavior, obviously, that you can get better and better at. And it's also a way of you not having to deal with certain emotions that you may not just be ready to deal with, right? But after so much time goes by, the numbness can set in, and then you don't feel the urgency to deal with it.
Mhm.
For relationships that you should be able to have the hard talks. You know what I mean?
because
The
when
vulnerable
silent
conversations.
treatments happen so often, that person is teaching you to be without them. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Or
They
to,
don't know it.
or to appreciate the time that you do get, because I mean it's much more effective when you are cohabitating with that person. It's different,
Effective.
yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, something that made me go into it, I was at a point where I was gonna really demonstrate very unhealthy behaviors, both to myself, to the relationship, and to that person. So when I used it, it was it was me hitting my pause button.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a part where because people when they're doing those things to you, like, hey, don't raise your voice, then it's shut up, you punk. Oh, I'm gonna do what you said. I'm gonna shut up with my, man, da 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 da, and that keeps me from I can't breathe, can't breathe. So I'm gonna get my point across, and then on some point you're gonna say it, or you're gonna have to come to me like, are you really that mad? I'm sorry, I'm this, or let's
So
talk
then they
about
were
it.
apologizing to you.
And they're coming well, not just apologizing to me, they're coming back to a level that I could meet them at. I couldn't meet them where they were.
So you used it as a method of control to bring that person back to center.
Control is a very horrible word, but I just wanted to level the playing field. I wanted it to be equal. And I mean, when you're screaming at me, I can't scream back at you. The same way that if I hit you, I'm going to knock you out. You can't hit me and knock me out. That's
So
not
you're
fair.
making them have a timeout. You're giving them a timeout, is what you're doing.
I'm
Like, okay,
giving
I'm gonna
them-
let you calm down so you can dry your face, And
So you won't be crying
on my shirt, right?
Right.
And screaming in
And
my
I'll
good
have to go
ear.
buy a motorcycle.
But I'm also not putting myself in a situation where I'm gonna have that exaggerated response where I'm
Exactly.
a punk.
I get it.
You know,
It makes sense, and I do feel like there's a time and a place, and obviously a limit to it, right?
Mhm.
Like we said, an expiration date. But I still do believe it's dangerous because, like, when I said I did it, I wasn't necessarily talking about in a relationship. I've done it in friendships because I just wasn't able to. Maybe I was too emotional, or maybe something was going on right now in my life where it was just too much for me to have this conversation about how disappointed I am
in this moment.
in them, and it may not be productive. You know what I mean? Like, for me, when I have conversations with people, truly I go into it hoping for resolve. So all of my goals in my head are like, anything that I say,
Right.
I want it to be resolved. Like, what's the resolve? And if I'm not at a place that I'm resolved with it, because it's whatever is going on is still going on, how am I going to go into it and effectively, you know what I mean, have this conversation with you?
Yeah.
So I'm putting myself in a timeout, honestly. But it may not feel that way to other people. It may feel like they're avoiding me. And truly they are, but for the betterment, honestly. But again, it's a slippery slope because too much time can go by and people's, the sting doesn't sting so much. And you have taught yourself how not to be in this relationship or friendship. And then maybe at some point you don't need it, or you've convinced yourself that you don't need it.
But one of the benefits, man, one mother, 3 sisters, of dealing with women like that, it's taught me that, man, I can do this as long as you can. I'm still mad. I'm still on 10. So I've cohabitated with people that we didn't speak to each other for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Your sisters or relationships?
Oh, my sister's probably still not speaking to me for some stuff I did. But, in a relationship with, with a significant other, partner, roommate, whatever, it's there have been times where it went 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because everybody, most people, I shouldn't say everyone, but most people's initial response to it, everybody is competitive. So they're like, oh, we're not speaking, cool. So then
I'm out not talking.
Right. Like, I hope you can hear what I'm thinking. So it's, that's kind of the beginning. The next stage is for me to be petty, to draw you in. So I'm gonna make your favorite dish. I'm gonna give it to you. And usually we sit down, if we cohabitate, we sit down and we eating at the table. I might go eat my stuff in the car.
So listen, my girlfriend gave an example. She said, let's say her husband came home 5 o'clock in the morning. It pissed her off, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a whole argument about it, boom, boom, boom. And he did it again. She said, she ain't gonna say shit. For real, not say nothing. Because you already know what you did. You know I'm pissed. I'm gonna just say the same things over, but she's not going to talk anymore. Because if she has this conversation, she gonna talk about your mama, she gonna talk about your ugly cousins, she gonna throw everything at you. Everything and the kitchen sink. So she's like, I'm not saying nothing. You gonna have to come to me. And if you don't say nothing to me, she was like, after 7 days, I guess we getting a divorce.
Well, it's rare that it gets to
So
7
you say
days.
2 weeks, but yeah.
You have to be an extra special level of petty for it to go 7 days. And usually for, reasonable people, because I don't want to use the C word, but for reasonable people.
The C word.
Crazy.
Oh, okay.
I don't even want to know where your mind went, but.
It's like, why?
But,
right.
but, for reasonable people, after about 3 or 4 days, it's like, okay, I'm ready to talk.
I've had someone give me the silent treatment for 9 days.
Uh-huh.
That was there was an investment there on both of your parts.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, this was new to me, so I was just like, did something happen? It was crazy.
So how did you reverse pettiness?
I didn't. I was because I had never experienced this, not even in childhood,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have, and I don't, even my family members, cousins, close friends, best friends, I didn't have this. So this was new. And I'm, I meet this person and get a silent treatment for 9 days. It was new. I didn't reverse it. To answer your question, I was trying to figure it out. Like,
Just trying to qualify it for sure. Like,
I
what
was
is going
trying
on?
to figure out what is going on. So I just surmised that this person is immature
Mm-hmm.
and had a lot of childhood trauma that they had to deal with, and that's not me. I can't fix that. So especially if you're not going to be open and honest with it. So I really never forgot that. I always kept it in the back of my head.
But you didn't
This is
bail.
what you do. I didn't bail. I'm still friends with this person, but I know that they can be a handful.
Mhm.
So you take people in doses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't I'm when I say I'm still friends with this person is has a good heart, but it's just not my cup.
Okay.
So I just intentionally have done my arts and crafts and cut people out of my life who I just cannot deal with on a day to day. So if I can't talk to you like an adult, then and we can't have honest conversations, and you can't come to me and say this is what's going on, this is how I feel, this is how I feel when you ask me, or when you say, or when you do, or I need to tell you, I need to talk to you, then I can't with you, because I am very much on this is who I am.
Right, and you're not a mind reader either, so.
This is who I am. What you see is what you get, and I can always communicate how I'm feeling. Always. If you ask me how I'm feeling at any given day or time about any particular situation, I can always verbalize it. And I'm gonna verbalize it just like this. I don't care how angry I am. I'm not a cursor. I'm not gonna be cursing you all, calling you a mobo and this, that, and the other. That's not who I am. I'm not yelling.
A PAB?
What's a
What's
BAB?
that?
Black ass.
Punk.
Pumpkin. That's not who I am. So
Still don't
when
know
I
what it is.
No.
but
Right.
people who are not accustomed to that, if you are used to the opposite of who I am, then you don't know how to deal with me, and I'm okay with that too. But now I need to know. Now I see that I have to just move on.
I mean, I want to say this. When the times I've done it, it wasn't like I was mad because they forgot to lock the front door. It was something. It was a series of events that led up to that, and then in that series of events, I said something before. I didn't just like, oh, you doing it again? Okay, cut her off. It wasn't that. It was like I was like, man, this, that, or the other. And then it was a response that I got that was like, man, F your feelings or whatever, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, okay. And that was that was me, like, okay, hold this in. And I'm not gonna blow the spot up. I'm not gonna go crazy because right now you're pushing my buttons and
I'm gonna say this though. In a relationship, I could very well see how the silent treatment can be looked at as a tool of emotional abuse. I could see how the person who's the recipient of all the silence, of all this nonverbal communication, can feel like you're pulling away, you're disconnected,
Absolutely.
you're not into me anymore, and you're causing for their mind to grasp at straws, to spiral, and it's perpetuating whatever the problem is. It's snowballing into something it doesn't even really have to be. But you're it's almost, if you're living, like you keep saying, in a communal home or whatever, you see this person, you know this person, so you know that they're worried. You know that they're trying to figure you out and wanting to talk.
It's abusive.
It is. It certainly can be.
But that person is abusing me. I almost killed you.
The silent treatment
I was
is,
getting my
is
alibi together.
emotional abuse.
I get it,
It
okay,
can be.
but
I don't know if I would
the
say it
resultant
always, but it
the
can be.
resultant physical abuse that you avoided, take that little emotional abuse. You gonna be all right.
And in another respect, it probably also could be looked at as a way for one to protect their own peace. I'm not, but it's all situational, and it's all with whom you're dealing with. If you're dealing with someone who's mature, you're probably going to have a different way of looking at it. If you're dealing with someone who has past trauma and they've never been able to verbalize or articulate how they feel in an adult way, then yeah, it can be looked at as emotional abuse in a
Well, if you
relationship.
have a person who is mature, it wouldn't be the silent treatment. It would be, you know what? I don't want to talk about this right now. Let's talk about it tomorrow. So my ex-husband, when we would argue, he was never, the way he was brought up is that they would just kind of like not talk about things, and it wasn't the silent treatment, it was just kind of like,
just move on.
Sweep it
Yeah.
under the rug.
Move on.
that's the way I always said it, was sweeping under the rug. So that's how they did it. So that doesn't work for me. And he knew that. I mean, I'd been with him, you know, we dated 5 years before we got married, so he knew that didn't work for me. So if he didn't want to talk about something, he would be like, I'm going to sleep. Can we talk about this in the morning? Because I'd be staring at him like this. I'm not done. So
3 a.m. This started at 7:30. I have a job.
he's like, baby, I'm going to sleep. Can we talk about this in the morning? So it wasn't just silence.
Right.
It was
Tabling.
Tabling, yeah.
So that's what a mature person does. And so it doesn't, I don't think mature people do silent treatments. I think it's something, it's something else.
Let me speak to that part of it. It's a processing, you know, however you look at it. And I mean, to say that it's immature, it's, you know, I will say this, in my own experiences with it, it wasn't the first time that somebody did something. And not only had they done it, but they were defending it. And they were standing on it, and they were
The
playing the
silent treatment, you mean?
No.
What they did to receive it.
Whatever the action was that caused it, they are defending.
They would
it.
double down.
Yeah, they were doubling down,
Yeah.
and or getting loud, or calling me out my name, and that's just not stuff I'm gonna deal with.
Okay.
That's
So
it.
that was your experience with it.
Yeah, and or just glossing over it like, oh, that little stuff. It was only $25,000. You tripping? What? I'm sorry. What?
A little money.
No funky money, you know. No, so no, it was. It wasn't. You know, it's not something that you should use for everything, but I think it does have a practical purpose, or at least in my experience, it's had a practical purpose. And there's a part of it where it needed to happen because somebody was escalating something to a point that was unhealthy for everybody. My response to it, them doing it and not knowing that they're doing it, their, indifference to, what I might have been feeling, whatever it was, or their need to do what they wanted to do, all of those things were,
So it was reactionary, but you felt like it was justified.
it was certainly provocated in that, that there was not just the action or the deed itself, but there was an attempt to, justify it or bully me or, take it or leave it or what you gonna do, it was something
Not
other.
the jump.
I dare you, So there was
Who are you
something,
dealing with? I just want to know.
some of them, but I mean, it's again, getting back to the theme of the show, is it fair? And I think that it's fair in certain situations, and in some of the ways that you all discussed, it's not fair. It's probably not the healthiest thing that you could do.
Yeah.
It could be something that doesn't lead to the long-term success of a relationship. It's not, in some people's eyes, the ideal way to process.
It definitely is not to me. Silent treatment. Stonewalling is, because I'm telling you, I know a lot about this. Stonewalling is when you're having a conversation with someone.
Mm-hmm.
You guys said that in harmony. And
Makes you want to dance.
Don't, please,
Don't-
stop.
Don't hype her up.
I know. No.
You're going to lose your thoughts. You already know.
Okay,
Stonewalling.
Okay,
Why? How did you do this?
Stonewalling conversation with someone.
Mm-hmm.
They present their point of view and walk off or
So you
flip
can't
over.
respond.
So you can't, and then they shut it.
So they text you in real life.
Completely shut down. Yeah.
They
completely
text.
shut
They
down.
one way communicate
Which
you in
is
real life.
also, it's like, and so then they get to say, well, I talked about it, but you really didn't. You said what you had to say, but you're not listening or willing to.
Or caring, more importantly.
They communicated their version, their side, and that was it.
And because they're not deaf, they do hear you talking, but they refuse to
Listen.
Well, they refuse to have a conversation, to dialogue about it. So that is stonewalling. So stonewalling and the silent treatment kind of go hand in hand.
But I think that
Both immature,
I'm
both
not
emotionally abusive.
I'm not buying into either of those.
No.
I think that man, I think that I was pretty mature, because I think that it would have been immature for me to just react and do what my 95th Street man told me to do.
Well, that would get you arrested. But the mature thing.
So I could be with my cousins and my best friends.
Well,
are you kidding me?
the mature thing would have been to have a conversation or to say, I can't deal with this right now, so I'm letting you know. It's kind of like, you know how you don't hang up on people, but you say, I'm ending this phone call. I'm about to let you go. I don't want to hang up on you. Remember back in the day when you could like slam the phone down on people?
But you can't do that anymore.
No, they can't.
Not at $1,000 a piece.
So now, so you would say, okay, I don't want to hang up on you, but I'm ending this call. But the mature thing would have been back then to say, I can't deal with this.
I'm about to go.
I'm about to go. I'm gonna go sit in the car. I'm gonna drive around the block, but I'm not gonna deal with this right now because you're not in a space where we can communicate. That would have been the mature thing, not to just fix a meal, slide it over to her. Because really, I've always been taught you don't eat a meal prepared by angry hands.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah, you don't do that. So I wouldn't have eaten something that you made for me if you were, acting kind of sourpuss toward me. I wouldn't have done that.
But again, it's
Really?
it's in reaction.
If you're angry with me and you're acting real, you're not speaking to me, and then you prepare a meal for me and slide it across the table like that. No.
Hold on, I didn't do the finger thing.
That's what you did when you.
I kind of.
Okay, we'll see.
So does trust just disappear when people are mad? Like really? Like does everything just go up in smoke? I'm like, you guys, I'm gonna eat your food.
I want to get my point across. I'm not mad at you at the point, or I was mad at you where I felt like maybe doing something to you, but I'm not there right now. I still want to do the relationship, but right now I can't really talk to you because I don't have the words, and you're not really taking my stuff serious, and I feel some type of way about that, and you left me no other choice. I don't ever think I did it just, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try this today. No, it was usually when I was pushed into that corner. And I mean, I'm a great communicator. One of the big things that I would like to believe in all of my relationships, successful or unsuccessful, is that we're friends. And when a person takes advantage of that friendship, that relationship, and does something that's so egregious, and then they just act like they didn't, or I have to deal with it. No, I still have options. I still have choices. I still want to be with you. I'm not ready to end it, but I'm not ready to talk to you and act like that it didn't happen either.
That's fair. That's to me more fair than the silent treatment, because you did have a dialogue about why you were feeling like you didn't want to talk right now, because I have not gotten over what you did and I'm gonna need time. So you take your time. That's cool.
But I mean, that's like my therapist.
But that's true, because that's in a perfect world where your emotions are all intact and you've got.
And I have time to make it nice and neat and slap it in a little Neiman Marcus bag and make it look all good. Put one of those bows on it. People like bows. And really make it
I like
nice.
bows.
Yeah, everyone likes bows. We all like bows. But at the end of the
Tiffany
day,
written on it.
right. Receipt had a comma in it. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes in real time, I have to process it in the ways that I process it. And I have to take a step away from it or let you know that I'm serious about this.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in my mind, I've said it to you once or twice, at least, at minimum. And, you know, you're still doing this behavior or you were totally dismissive of it. There was a movie where, you know, they were having a argument, and it was about the mother-in-law coming to live with them. And so the mother-in-law came to live, and whoever the mate was like, and they didn't go off, they didn't snap in front of the mother, they just sort of like, I'm not really fooling with you right now. I gotta get this together in my mind.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's an example of where it would have been necessary.
I'm gonna give you a quick example of something that could be like, I don't know if you want to call it stonewalling or both people giving each other the silent treatment because they both think they're right. Right. So here's one. This is a good one, I think. You have a phone. You have a woman. Your woman, for whatever reason, looked at your phone, saw some shit that was straight out of pocket. You shouldn't have done it. You got busted. But you're so pissed off that she looked at your phone because she broke, an invasion of privacy kind of situation in your head. And then she's like pissed off because you stepped out on her, you cheated. And so now you both are like pissed off at each other and no one is going to break the silence because she feels like you should be apologizing for what you did to the relationship and you feel like without trust we have nothing. And she's like, trust, trust, you've been screwing the next door neighbor.
Kid.
I
knew that little boy looked like you.
So yeah, I mean, but both of you all think that the other person is, you all have injured each other, but no, she's gonna think you injured her more, and you're gonna think that she
again
crossed the boundary.
The silent treatment has an expiration date because, in my mind, when I have employed it, it was because I still wanted to be with that person, but I couldn't deal with them in that way, in that space of time. So, for somebody that if I got caught like that, if I was the person that got caught cheating, I would just eat that one. Yeah, I did it. Big deal. What do you want?
Deal.
I mean,
and what?
Well, I mean, you were looking.
You better be nice to my own son. Now that you know his butt.
But here's the thing: if you were looking through my phone, you didn't trust me anyway. And if I gave you something to believe, or you're just truly clairvoyant, either way, we ain't really got nothing here.
Yeah, because I saw that little boy.
So now, you found what you was looking for. What you want to do? What you gonna do? You found it. It's there. I can't lie.
When people go looking, and they should be prepared to make a move if they find something.
I mean, I had a buddy tell me.
Or keep it to yourself, right?
I had a buddy, and I promise you I want to say his name, but I won't. But
no.
He was like, he told his wife, like, why you keep looking through my phone? You ain't gonna leave. I was like,
I know a guy.
Did he want her to leave?
Huh?
Did he want her to leave?
Not really.
I mean, in his version of the story, no, but I mean, who knows? But I thought it was very gangster.
Yeah, it sure is.
I mean, I even employed it once. Like, what you doing?
So what happened when you employed it?
I got away with it, but I in the process of doing that, I destroyed that person. I destroyed their ability to be with me.
Did you care at that time?
I cared about getting caught.
Did you care about destroying your relationship and destroying their ability to be with you?
At what point?
At that point.
When it happened.
Oh, when I got caught?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I cared a lot then.
Not because of how you were viewed.
I cared a lot
your
at the point in which
relationship-
I got caught.
Okay.
But you acted as if you didn't.
I didn't. What was my other defense?
So you just faked the funk.
I didn't fake the funk. I laid out like you look through my phone, you found something. What you gonna do?
Now what?
So why did it have to be? And I know this was a while ago because your mess ups happened a long time ago. I realize.
Oh, this
that.
was no, I'm just kidding.
So why did it have to be you with the hard shell? Why couldn't you just say, I messed up? She didn't mean anything, or
Right. Why couldn't you take
why
off the
couldn't you just
exoskeleton
say,
and be vulnerable?
yeah, and say
Yeah.
what it was?
I felt like I was vulnerable. I was caught.
No, you really
No,
weren't vulnerable.
no,
you were
not
defensive.
not if you presented it the way you just told it.
Yeah.
Like
You
what
put your super
what you
cape
gonna
on.
do? What you
Like,
gonna do? That's not being vulnerable at all.
No.
That's
I
actually
didn't have nowhere else to go. I checked all of the other
No.
doors. That was the only door that was
what
open.
about the real vulnerable? I shouldn't have done it. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't have done it. What do you want to do? Can we fix it?
so.
What about that version?
If I'm in a relationship with someone,
Mm-hmm.
so okay, so in pharmaceutical sales and in medical sales, when you go away to training, you practice having these dialogues with the doctor, and then you have a third person just sitting there, just watching the conversation and taking mental notes, because sometimes when you're in a conversation, you miss a lot of what's being said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you were listening to me have a conversation with Jack,
Mhm.
and we're in a relationship, and I messed up, I did something that really hurt him, and you hear me say, yeah, well, what you gonna do?
Who gonna check me?
Who go? It's over.
Right.
So if you're listening to that, and in my mind, I'm like, well, damn. And I'm really thinking, I'm caught. I don't really want to break up with him. Jack means a lot to me. I really messed up, and I'm sorry I hurt his feelings. That's what I'm thinking, and I'm not saying any of that. And none of that comes across in translation in my verbal, my nonverbal, and you're listening to it. You might be like, this bitch really don't give a fuck. about
Right,
Jack.
because that's what her delivery.
Right,
It's like,
you understand what I'm
yeah.
saying? So if I was sitting there listening to you in that back in time, in that conversation with you and your significant other, I would be like, girl,
Girl, come on,
stab
let's go.
him. Stab him, let's go.
Not stab, but I'll be like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get you
I
up
mean,
out of here.
I think that we can all say that 30-year-old us would have a different responsibility.
So you were okay. Well, yeah.
25,
sure.
whatever the year was. But I mean, 60-year-old Gary is gonna, first of all, probably not do it. That's
Yeah, because you're
number
quite different. This is you're
Yeah.
in a good relationship and a good mindset.
Yeah, so I mean, but 60-year-old Gary is kind of in a different space. But 30-year-old me would have probably felt like, why'd you look through his phone? What were you looking for?
She shouldn't have looked through your phone. I agree with that. I
Mhm.
believe that she did cross the boundary.
She did.
But is that boundary one that you want to say, okay, it supersedes what I did? I'm just asking.
No, because the show's topic is it fighting fair?
Right.
And that's
He's not gonna answer that question. Right.
No. But that's the marriage advice I give to people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I tell the man, always date her, always fight fair, and pick your battles. Those are the three things that I tell everyone that I counsel for marriage.
You know what it does, and I try not to laugh, but I swear you almost sound like you Dr. Phil. Ayana, what's her name?
Go to you for marriage counseling.
Well,
What? Like
Yeah,
you have
let's
a
go-
whole roster full of couples.
let me say this.
That's what I tell the people that I counsel for marriage. That's the quote. That's what you said.
And that's it. I said it exactly like I meant it. Let me say this.
God.
She is crying.
She is.
Every time you say
Let me say this.
Oh
say this.
shit.
Whenever you're ready, just let me know. Just tap me on. Just say, hey, Gary, I'm ready now.
I'm ready, go ahead.
Get it all out. No. Project.
We'll be here all night. Her laughing.
She crying.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead.
All right.
So, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm an ordained minister. And when I perform wedding ceremonies, what should you do before you get married? Counseling. So before I count, now that it has a little bit more cuts, she's crying on TV. Get all of that.
We're both proud of
Camera
you.
one, zoom in.
This is really something funny to me. But so
Everyone.
you can marry people and counsel people with this minister's.
Chip, is that what you're
Yeah.
about to say? With my ministerhood?
Right.
In my ministry,
Uh-huh.
yes. Yes, and you should
Uh-huh.
count. Everyone should participate in some, in my world, should participate in some form of counseling before they get married.
I agree.
And that is the counseling that I give to people. So it is imperative that you fight fair.
Yeah.
So getting back to the show topic, and do you need some tissue?
They're gonna think that we have hurt feelings,
Right.
right?
No, people gonna be threatening me. Why you got them girls crying,
Oh
man?
my gosh.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up tonight.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while.
Yes, it turned into the little comedy show here.
Hold on, but I want to say something to both
Oh,
of
my
you all
goodness.
personally. You all were crying today on the show, and neither one of you lost your makeup. I mean, that is like incredible. You
All
try,
right.
she trying to hold it in. She can't wait till we cut away.
Oh,
right.
It ain't gonna even be no closing credits. It's like we gone, y'all back.
We appreciate you guys. Please, we are like so looking forward to reading these comments. Let us know. Not just about this counseling session right here. We have this counselor. But no, we really want to know. Have you all used the silent treatment? Have you all weaponized it? Is it effective in your relationship? We want to know all the deets. So let us know. If we missed something, let us know.
And do know that in February, we will be picking up and having our in-person event on a weekend in February. So just stay tuned. We will be announcing the date pretty shortly.
Counsel in the 7th.
All right, anything? Gary, I thought you were going to say
Anything,
something.
counselor?
Hey, if one of y'all need to get married and you need somebody to do it,
And you need some counseling?
we can work it out.
I guess you can go to counseling right here on Conversations Overheard.
I'm gonna give you the same advice. You ain't really
Right.
gotta do the counseling. Fight fair, pick your battles, and always date her. As I'm gonna tell the man that. That's gonna be the counseling you get.
There you have it.
All
Thank
right,
you guys for
Thank you,
tuning in.
everyone. Have a great evening. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sweetheart.
It's time to go. Ba-da-da-da-da.
Okay, finish. I'm not touching anything else.